Namaste. Hello everyone. Welcome to Shal Gulhati, Shiva and Mysticism for another episode of Monday with Mahadev. I saw another beautiful picture on Facebook of Lord Shiva, which I want to share with you with my input. You can see the artist has drawn Shiva seated on a shivling with one leg in the air and the other one on the ground. And I want to talk to you about this. You see, one leg on the ground and one in the air. Shiva is often shown seated like this, and sometimes Ma Durga is also shown seated like this. What does it mean? But before that, the artist has painted Shiva seated on a shivling. What would this mean symbolically? To me, it means that Shiva is firmly established in his own principles of Shaivism. The shivling, as we know, is the greatest symbol of Lord Shiva. It has two constituents that we can see. There is a third one, which is a pedestal, which we normally do not see. But one is the lingam, which is Shiva, and which stands for the transcendent, and one is the yoni, which is the base on which the lingam is encapsulated. And the yoni is prakriti, which means this whole created universe. So basically, the shivling means that God, in his complete transcendence, is caught up in love with the universe that he so creates. It is possible to feel him if we understand this in depth. Now, what does one leg in the air and one on the ground mean? So the leg in the air is also symbolic of transcendence, flighty in the skies, one who knows the ether, who knows subtle things. And the leg on the ground means simply that Shiva is grounded. He's earthbound. He honors the rules of earth, of the norms that civilization set. So he is the ruler of both the transcendent world and the manifest, the mundane world. Now, there is a beautiful sutra in the Shiv Sutras, which is Lokananda Samadhi Sukham. Lok Ananda, bliss of the world. Samadhi Sukham, bliss of the transcendent state. So this sutra tells us that Shiva is a yogi who has mastered both the bliss of the world and the bliss of samadhi, of being in dhyana, of self-realization. But Lokananda is different for different people. Someone's Lokananda, someone's bliss or happiness or joy that he gets in this world could be through making money, which is largely the case these days. And the more the money he makes, the more the ananda he gets. That is Lokananda. But it can be different for different people. For someone who is a foodie, it can be to go and have a very nice meal in a new restaurant. Or someone who's very fond of designer clothes, it can be buying the latest branded bag or dress. Or someone who's a poet, it could be waking up in the middle of the night and writing a beautiful poem. And for an artist, it could be going really crazy with his colors, getting some landscape on his canvas. So it's different. Lokanand, the happiness which we get in this world is different for different people. Even for those whose happiness is in making money, it can be different. For someone, making $1,000 a month is happiness. For another person, $10,000 makes him happy. And yet for another person whose turnover is in millions and billions of dollars, $1,000 and $10,000 will not make him happy. It may even make him unhappy. So while Lokananda, the happiness which we get from this world, is different for different people, it is transient also. It goes away after a while. You like food, but how much can you eat? You like branded dresses, but how many can you wear in one go? You like money, but what is the utility of it after a certain point? You can't eat money. You can have a better house, better clothes, better transport, but there is a limit to it. So it's more or less transient. But Samadhi Sukham, the happiness of knowing the transcendent state, the happiness of self realization, the happiness of enlightenment, of bodha, of knowing the man and cosmos connect, that is always the same. It has different grades in it. Someone may have a samadhi fleetingly, another person may be able to stay in it for an hour, and there are also some people who are in the state of samadhi, in a transcendent, flighty state, even while they are doing other things. There are yogis who are in the state of samadhi. They are in the altered state of consciousness, even when they are doing worldly things like eating and walking and gardening and so on. And we know that the Zen masters also say that it is very difficult to describe samadhi or enlightenment. They say we can tell you what happens before samadhi and what happens after samadhi. Before samadhi, you carry water and chop wood. And after samadhi, you carry water and chop wood. Before samadhi, there are the mountains and the trees and the rivers. And after samadhi, there are the trees and the mountains and the rivers again. So what is the difference? The person who has had samadhi sukham enjoys the lokananda doubly. The person who has had enlightenment sees the same mountains, the same rivers and the same trees, but he enjoys them more. This is almost like a dual SIM technology. When the yogi reaches a state where he can enjoy both the transcendent state and the mundane world, when, like Shiva, he has one leg in the air and one on the ground, he is seated very firmly in the principles of Shaivism. So this is what I thought about this beautiful painting, and I thought I will share it with you. Join me again next Monday for yet another story on Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaye.